People just don't realize geographically how connected we really are. And I think this is one of the most important things about water. Very simply put, very obviously, water flows downhill. It doesn't care about political boundaries. It doesn't care about property lines. Water is going to take the path of least resistance. For us here in Gwinnett County, we're in a very interesting or unique position where we're at the headwaters of a very large watershed that's called the Ocmulgee River Basin, roughly in the middle of the state. What we do here on our small little first and second order streams in our backyards and in our neighborhoods is actually connected through water all the way down to the Atlantic Ocean. And so if you follow the Yellow River, it goes down and it enters Jackson Lake. That flows into the Ocmulgee River, which eventually joins the Altamaha before going into the Atlantic Ocean.
Pretty much the Yellow flows between neighborhoods. It doesn't really flow through any industrial areas. As you were to go farther down the 50-mile length of the Yellow, you'll get more into rural areas, which is farmland. So what are the impacts on the river? In the urban area, there's litter, there's chemicals, there's much more opportunity for pollution. In the suburban river, not so much. Chemicals may wash into the river from people's lawns, from fertilizing and so forth. Litter washes in from bridges unless the counties have built stormwater containment areas for that litter to collect in. But when you get into the rural areas, pretty much it's farming. If the farmers let their cows or their pigs into the river, you have issues with that. Mostly herbicides, pesticides from the farming. As you get around the ports and more industrial areas there, right before the water flows into the ocean, there's more of an issue with pollution there. This is a natural environment that a lot of animals depend on, and it's an important feature in your community. And yet you can see it collects litter every now and then when the water's up. Specifically, single-use plastic. That's the worst thing, and that's the largest quantity. That and tennis balls, styrofoam. And therefore, as people become more aware that there's a river here, that it's a clean, healthy river, and it's being assaulted by litter, they care about the river. They become more cognizant of their behavior around the river. And they'll advocate for the river with their peers.
To get some of the public involved in some citizen science initiatives and expose them to kind of the reality of what our urban environment is all about and how that impacts water quality and our little pockets of nature that are left behind in areas, even like Gwinnett County, that are very densely populated and very much developed. We want to be able to show people that there's still a lot of value in the nature, in the wildlife, and the water resources that we have in these areas, and that we can go out and we can collect samples and we can analyze this water to determine what is the real health of our streams and our watersheds here in Gwinnett County.
What we do when we talk to the counties and the cities along the way is we try to stress that they be sure to follow the regulations around development, silt fences, stormwater retention. If the water during a rain event is not contained and metered back into the river in a controlled manner, then it flows into it in an uncontrolled manner. And that's not good for the people who are drawing drinking water out of it downstream, or the animals, the otters.
So there's a lot of things that we can do at home to help mitigate some of these impacts of stormwater. So I'm talking about using rain barrels and rain gardens in our homes. I always say, you don't have to do it all. Just do something to help protect water quality and prevent pollution. If we all do that within this one watershed, then we can start moving in the right direction as far as protecting water quality and conserving these water resources.